Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football Dill. Mike Elko, Texas A&M, going on the road and playing Missouri. I think to a lot of us, we looked at the opening line for this football game and said 4.5 points. That seems a little close. Vegas is telling us this game is closer than I maybe expected. When you look at Missouri and say you're going to have a coming off a loss against Vanderbilt, you're going to be starting a true freshman quarterback in his first career start, going up against the Mike Elko defense. Spooky if you're a Missouri fan. But then you look you look a little bit more into Missouri and say the way they run the football, the way they play defense, it's never easy to go on the road and beat a team that runs the ball and plays defense the way Missouri does. Like I'll float this one out at you, Dill. Is this the best defense that Texas A&M has seen all of 2025? I'm not sure if I agree with that statement, but that's a conversation you can have. And it kind of highlights how good I think Missouri is on the defensive side of the football. You know what I think it certainly is, Dill? I think it's the best edge rusher duo that you've seen all year between Damon Wilson and Zion Young. And what I'm most excited for is these Texas A&M offensive tackles who have been really damn good to start 2025. All right, just how good are you? Can you go on the road and block up these two cats? I'm fired up for this one. A lot of really fun matchups I want to get into. Before we do, and as always, Texas A&M fans, Missouri fans, let it fly in the comments section. As we wind down to, and it's crazy to say we're winding down 2025, I do want to express a ton of appreciation to y'all. These game preview prediction episodes been a blast for the boys to do. The amount of support has been amazing. Appreciate you guys. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Let it rip in the comment section. Though without further ado, I want to start with this A&M offense. And I'll say this about this A&M offense. You will not find many more complete offenses than Texas A&M. Their ability to run the football, their ability to be explosive throwing the football, going up against the Missouri defense. That's damn near rock solid. Doesn't have a ton of deficiencies. How do you view Texas A&M's avenue to having success on the road on the offensive side of the ball?
And that is probably why this spread's pretty tight. I don't think this has, frankly, a ton to do with that Missouri offense. It's about this defense. Like, yeah, there isn't really a clear avenue to just beat them. Like,
Yeah.
I thought the secondary was a problem early on, gave up some yards against Kansas, gave them some big plays against South Carolina, but, like, then you get into deeper in the year against a good offensive attack, especially a passing attack in Alabama, and really kind of limit them. I think they only had a little over 300 yards, which against an Alabama offense, really, really impressive. So I look like, yeah, this front seven's really good. I think the defensive tackles are really good.
Yep.
Trotter at linebacker is a really good player. So there just isn't like that easy avenue. But on the other side, A&M can pretty much do anything. Like they can run the ball, they can throw the ball deep, they can throw with more of a rhythmic short.
And so that then you try to find like, all right, well, how's Texas? So what's Texas A&M going to come out and try to do? Like the benefit if you're Texas A&M is you can run the football at a high level, you can throw the football at a high level, but then you look at Missouri's defense and say they're only giving up 3 yards per carry on the ground, top 15 in the country. They're only giving up 6.1 yards per pass attempt, top 15 in the country. There's not that, I'm a numbers guy. Like there's not that glaring deficiency or weakness in terms of how Missouri grades out on defense. This is where I think the X factor comes in for Texas A&M. You just got dudes that you feel like are the best players on the football field. That's Mario Craver. That's Casey Concepcion. I don't know if there's been many wide receiver duos that I'm taking over them to start 2025. And maybe that's the avenue is, hey, we're just going to give Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion as many opportunities as we can in space. And if we continue to give them opportunities, they're going to create game-changing plays. And that's the storyline, I think, is I don't know if you need to score 31 points to win this football game because I look at Missouri's offense and we'll get into it a little bit more. I have question marks about how good Missouri can be on offense with the true freshman quarterback play.
And that's where A&M can be a problem. Like, because you said, like, maybe Missouri's the best defense they've played. The other one is probably Auburn. Auburn's defense, as much as that team, I know Hugh Freeze just got fired, and he deserved it. That's an amazing defense, like a really good
Yep,
defense.
agreed.
That's probably like right on par, I'd say,
Yeah.
with what Missouri's trotting out there. And you just look, that's what's made Auburn a problem. Like they pick, okay, we're just going to run the ball. We're not throwing the ball incredibly well. Like we'll get our plays. They're always going
Yeah.
to get their plays because they have those guys, like you mentioned, individual difference makers who you're just not going to like stop for a full football game.
Yeah.
But they also have that way to just kind of drag you into a slugfest, grind you down, run the ball really well, especially against the Missouri defensive line room that, like,
And
I still
that
think you wonder, like, are they deep enough to really just be
sure.
pounded on? Because they haven't seen that type of attack probably
Uh,
this year.
that
Maybe
that
against
is
Vandy, and they
that is
broke.
fair. I don't think they've seen an offensive line that has the physicality that Texas A&M has when it comes to running the football. Like I think Alabama's offensive line is coming on. I think they've been holding up in pass protection. I'm not sure how good at people movers they are in terms of the run game. I forgot to mention one thing, and I feel like an idiot for it. I said Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion, you got special difference makers. Well, know who showed that playmaking ability pretty much routinely all year? Quarterback Marcel Reed. Like, even when it's not perfect for this cat, he's a guy that can give you those special plays that can change games as well. I do think running the football, at least with some sort of success, is going to be big. The biggest thing that concerns me if I'm a Texas A&M fan is if we struggle to run the football and we're dropping back and throwing the football 40, 50 times a game, it's not Marcel Reed. It's probably Texas A&M holding up in pass protection, and it's not a shot at Trey Zune. Trey Zune's been freaking awesome for Texas A&M. Demetrius Crownover has taken massive strides in pass protection. It's more giving my flowers to what Missouri has. Damon Wilson, Zion Young. Those are going to be two names that we hear announced very early come the NFL draft in the spring. That is a way that Missouri can maybe take advantage here. Can you come up with a guy like Damon Wilson or Zion Young coming up with some big plays, some big negative plays? That might be a little bit of a concern. You run the football well, you stay on schedule, you avoid those obvious pass rush situations where a guy like Damon Wilson can pin his ears back, get after the passer. And that's what you love about Texas A&M is they've shown they can run the football against anybody in the country. Flipping the sides here, and I'm really happy you pointed out Texas A&M's ability to, hey, even if this gets a little bit slower, a little bit more of a defensive slugfest, I think Texas A&M's comfortable in that kind of game as well. When you look at Matt Zollers getting his first career start at the quarterback position, going up against the Mike Elko defense that now has 2 weeks to prepare for this one. Biggest storyline you're looking at here.
Honestly, it's probably not to sleep too much on Matt Zollers because no disrespect to Bo Bribula. I think the reason this line probably isn't as jarring as maybe we think,
yeah,
they probably lack balance at times against the good teams. Like, I don't know. I haven't been wowed by what Bo's done for them. I haven't been wowed what he's been able to give them in terms of working complementary with that rushing attack. Matt Zollers is very much a better thrower than Bo Bribula. Like, is he a better processor? Is he going to, like, manage the game better?
Dill, I think you can say it. You're kind of dancing around this. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to Bo. Like, how much worse is Matt Zollers at quarterback? We don't necessarily know. But I don't think Bo Pribula was lighting the world on fire as a thrower of the football. I am interested to see what Matt Zollers can provide because it felt like at times Missouri was a little one-dimensional. And if the run game is not hitting, of which sometimes it wasn't hitting when he played a team like Vanderbilt, like what's your avenue to be two-dimensional and throw the football? I don't think Bo Pribula totally gave you that. Can Matt Zollers give that to Missouri in this football game? Look, I'm not going to sit here and have a ton of confidence in a true freshman quarterback in his first career start against Mike Elko coach defense. I am very interested to see what this Missouri offense does look like with Matt Zollers repping the pill.
Because again, it is, as much as I love this Missouri rushing attack, like it is really hard when you are one dimensional.
Yeah,
They've been made one dimensional enough times this year for me to think like, all right, well, what if Matt Zollers can rip it around a little bit and like show a little bit more? Because like you said, like Bo, I think again, when it's really easy for him, they make it work okay. But I don't know, you don't just see enough big time throws. Matt Zollers in that Vandy game, it wasn't super consistent, but you saw him like rip some nice throws to the boundary, some things that you just don't really see a ton from Bo. And again, if they can like get themselves a little bit more two-dimensional, this Missouri team goes from being like probably pesky, but not like championship level. Because
Yeah.
I don't think that's where they were, frankly, with Bo
No.
Prabula. If they can get something like that from Zollers, it gets really interesting what this Missouri team can be, because
Yeah.
that rushing attack is elite when it's going. It's just really hard to run the ball once teams kind of know you're going to be running the ball.
Especially the deeper third passing attack, because they really didn't ask Bo Prabula to push that sucker down the field very often.
And they got some wideouts who, frankly, should be able to attack.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Coleman is awesome. I think Speedy Johnson's really good. Like that young kid, Darren O, or am I getting that name?
Donovan Olubode.
He is awesome too. So
Yeah.
they have like a couple of really good wide
Yep.
receivers. I don't know. It'll be really fun to see if they can get something out of him. Because again, Matt Zoller, as much as he's a freshman, he came in all the talent in the world. So it's certainly going to be exciting to see him, I think.
So, and I agree. I think Matt Zoller is kind of the X factor in this game. Like, what's he give Missouri? It's a little bit of an unknown, but it's a non-zero chance that Matt Zollers is an upgrade. But I think there's an opportunity for Missouri maybe to be upgraded. We'll see. I think the athleticism on Texas A&M's defensive line will help. Like Missouri likes to run that outside zone stuff, get opposing defensive linemen moving laterally. Maybe this is not an Albert Regis game. Maybe this is a little bit more of a Tyler Rowe and DJ Hicks game, but you have the athleticism to deal with some of that outside zone run scheme. I think you're going to ask your safeties, Dalton Brooks, Marcus Ratcliffe, to come into the box and support the run a little bit more. Because if you're Mike Elko, you're going into this game saying, Matt Zollers needs to show me that he's an upgrade from Bo Prabula before I start treating him like he's an upgrade from Bo Prabula. But I think you're coming in saying, hey, we're dropping a safety into the box. We're trying to stop the run. We're going to make the freshman quarterback beat us with his arm through the air.
And then you got to tackle. That's always the big thing with A&M. And again, I think the reason they're 8-0 and they've been doing what they've been doing, they've really cleaned that up. They've been a much better tackling team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen Ahmad Hardy at moments where he just looks untackleable. I'm very excited to see that matchup with those, like, again, kind of smaller linebackers, really athletic. Torian York, again, his level has picked up. Scooby Williams coming back. Sanford's played really well. But can those guys tackle a really big physical and like maybe the guy with the best contact balance in the game consistently enough in the way that, again, we've seen A&M not tackle particularly great at times in the Elko era.
I think that's fair. I think Mike Elko has kind of squeezed that out of him so far, but we'll
I think so too. But they haven't seen them out already.
We've seen enough chair throwings by Mike Elko that we starting to tackle over there in College Station. All right, let's get into the pick. A&M, we'll go with 6.5 points. A&M touchdown favorite on the road here. We got.
Give me Missouri to cover this.
Stop that. That is crazy.
No, and this is not a disrespect against A&M.
It's a little disrespectful.
The gambling brain in me, I would have thought this would be about a 10-point line. When I see that, my brain goes to it. That makes me think, well, you better watch out because it maybe is going to be a little closer than you think. Yep. But I don't know. I think Missouri can make this like the Auburn game. And again, I think A&M is very comfortable being able to win that sort of style of game. Yeah. But I think they can keep it close enough to cover 6.5. I don't know.
Yeah, see, I understand where you're coming from there. I just have confidence that Texas A&M is comfortable in those kind of games. And
you can be comfortable winning those, but 6.5 is not like a tiny spread to cover.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Okay, maybe I'm not at you as much for Missouri covering the 6.5. I could see this game being a little bit tighter than I expect. I think A&M's got enough playmaking ability on offense to manufacture enough points and again, with all due respect to this Missouri defense that is so good at all three levels, I think A&M's got enough dudes, enough difference makers to put up points. And I just am not ready to bet on a freshman quarterback making his first career start against the Mike Elko defense. And we didn't even mention Cassius Howell, who is currently playing like one of the best players in the country on the defense side of the football. It's going to be a fun matchup because I like Missouri's tackles a lot. Cassius Howell versus these Missouri tackles, going to be a fun one too. I'm on A&M, you're on Missouri. We'll see how it plays out. Appreciate you guys rocking with it. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel, and we'll talk to y'all later.